everybody. JC here, and welcome to another TNI Live. It's Monday, so hopefully you all had a pretty good weekend. Maybe some of you watched that debacle, the Mike Tyson Paul fight, which I didn't watch it because I wasn't going to support something that seemed to me was clearly rigged. This guy has made millions of dollars from that shit. Netflix, from what I saw, wasn't able to really handle the audience, the traffic that it got because everybody kept getting buffering and it froze and all that. So it seemed like it was really kind of just a total debacle. And makes me wonder, like when WWE moves over to Netflix next year, how well that's going to go. I believe they're going to be starting out with pre-recorded Raw episodes, so that might be a reason why, because they don't feel like they can handle the live. But anyway, hopefully, like I said, you guys had a good weekend, and let's just do a quick roll call, see who's in the house today. Mr. Allmine is in the house. Good to see you. Mr. 777, Kobo Cop is in the house. Good to see you. John from Ireland, as always, my friend. Good to see you. Felix is in the house. Good to see you, my friend. See, action figures are still great. Yes, they always are. Quinn, it's been a while. I haven't seen you in a while, but good to see you in the house today. Hopefully all is going well at your store. Judge Dreads is in the house. What is up? Rig fight, I didn't respect it. Yeah, I don't know. Like I say, I'm not a huge, Jake or Logan Paul fan to begin with. I feel like they're kind of scumbags to begin with. And then, these guys making millions of dollars from this thing was just, to me, ridiculous. But that is me, definitely. Felix is in the house. Can't believe people thought it was a legit fight. And even I know, right? Like they were running bets on and that's the other thing. Like I'm so sick of like these betting commercials that whether you're watching football or whatever sporting event, and you get flooded with these betting commercials now that they've legalized gambling, and it's just like I always love at the end of the commercial how they like, and if you have a gambling problem, be sure to call this. Like we want you to have a gambling problem, so you blow a lot of money on our service. But if you do and you want help, then call this number. So yeah, Kobo Cop. Nobody watches shit WWE anymore anyway. I've been watching WWE. I've been getting into the Bloodline storyline, but this idea that they're going to start pre-recording stuff, and then like I've seen things suggesting like they want people to put out spoilers on social media to get it trending and stuff. I don't think that's going to go well. But of course, if you're going to pre-record a show where you have live people attending and watching, then there's no way you're going to keep spoilers from the matches from getting out ahead of time. But like that they think that that's going to help them if people start spoiling the matches on social media. I would call that decision suspect. Next, he will fight Ali's daughter. There was one. Oh, there was like you see all these memes. Like next, Jake Paul's going to challenge 100-year-old Jimmy Carter to a fight and stuff. Which those were. There was one I thought was funny. It was like next, Jake Paul's going to challenge Babe Ruth in a home run derby contest, even though Babe Ruth is dead. I thought that one was kind of funny. See, Jay, you should put that at the end of every one of your videos. If you have an action figure addiction problem, please. That is true. But yeah, I don't. There's no action figure addiction hotlines out there, but I guess you're right. I guess if there was, I should probably put that at the end of my videos. This video might entice you to waste money on action. Not waste. I mean, it's not a waste. If I'm being fair, it depends on your situation. I see people. There are people I see where I'm like, where they're like complaining about how they can't pay their bills, and I'm like, well, then why are you buying action figures? I mean, my philosophy is spend responsibly. If you've got the money, and do it as with you will, but if you don't, then, and even with gambling, I mean, if you've got money to blow on gambling, like I don't like to gamble because I I'm pretty lucky in life overall. If I look over the course of my life, I feel like I'm pretty lucky. But if I try and financially prosper from the luck, like, gamble, play the lottery, something like that, it generally doesn't work out well for me. So that's why I've always stayed away from gambling. But if I just had, like, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars to just blow, I might go gamble or something, just for the hell of it. But I think most people, though, that end up gambling, they're doing it because they're trying to make money, and that is not a good way to. That's not a good, if you're going in to try and make money, I feel like that's not really a good plan. Same, and honestly, same thing with action figures. If you've got the money to spend, no big deal. Buy as many action figures as you can. But if you're basically pulling money from here to buy an action figure, money that would have gone to groceries or bills or paying down your mortgage or whatever, then there's probably better ways of spending your money. What is up, Elo? Good to see you. I have my habit well in hand. I only buy toys after my bills are paid and not much more than 150 a month. That's a good, you budget it. If you've got like if you've budgeted for all your bills and everything, and you want to, people budget, whether it's going out and, you know going to a restaurant or going to the movies or whatever, if you've budgeted, a certain amount of money each month for, say, action figures, and you're sticking to that budget, then that's definitely a smart way of doing it. Kobook, I think gambling is smarter than what I did. I'm a lifetime loss of 35,000 in stock market from trading. It would have been fun to light my. Well, I will be honest. I don't really play the stock market either, but I will be honest with you. I personally don't see a lot of difference from the stock market and those who gamble. Now there are differences if you're, there are things like 401k plans and stuff. If you're, putting money towards a long term stock, that's a pretty, I feel like, if you buy some Apple stock, as long as it's long term, you're not going to probably lose your money. If you have 401ks where you've got stock options in the 401k or whatever for retirement, there's going to be ups and downs in the stock market, but I feel like those are probably safe, somewhat safe bets. But if you're somebody like a day trader, just, trying to buy and sell stocks when they go up, try and get them when they're low and sell them when they're high type thing. I don't really see a lot of difference in that and gambling, to be honest. And I think, and I don't want to go too deep on this, but my personal thoughts, like on the stock market, to me, the stock market, it should be something where if you see a company that you truly think is like a good investment, where you see a company that's going to have a strong, bright future, and you feel like you're getting in on the bottom ground, and you're going to hold on to those stocks for a long time. I think that's what the stock market is supposed to be. But again, you get in with these, where you're hedging your bets, or, I mean, I'm no expert on the stock market, but there's just a lot of the stuff that goes on in the stock market, to me, goes well beyond that, which I'm not a fan of. Like, if I don't like when a stock goes up based on speculation, like, oh, something might happen here, therefore let's see the stock, jump up 10 points, or, especially when you can clearly see, like, it's a shit company, but for some reason, somebody's decided that, it's worth investing in, and therefore the stock market goes up. And I don't know. Crypto, I mean, I think you're going to start hearing a lot more about crypto in the next 4 years, but my honest opinion is I've seen too many people get ripped off on crypto schemes and such. So I don't think it's a very safe thing to invest in. But there are definitely people, I see people, definitely doing that. But again, I am not. I do fairly decent for myself, but I'm not like somebody who, other than like I say, a basic 401k or something, is out there playing the stock market or trying to find the next big thing to invest money in or anything like that. I don't have that kind of money to do that. So I don't even really look at that type of thing. It's gambling either way, Jay. That's all I say, because you roll the dice when you don't know when you're going to retire and pull out your money. What if you have to retire during a crash? I mean, there's risk to everything, 100%. But I do feel like there are certain things in the stock market you can invest in that are a lot safer than than others. And same thing with gambling. Gambling to me is pretty much good chance you're going to throw your money away at some point. I'm sure there are those like statisticians and people that study like the stats for some of these sports and stuff, and they have a system or whatever. But and I'm sure there's people out there that have gotten rich from gambling. But I think I mean there's a reason why if you go to Vegas, if you ever go to Vegas, my philosophy is take some money that you're going to go to gamble with, because I mean why else are you going to go to Vegas unless you're going to gamble? But basically expect that money to be, not to come home with that money. If by some chance you win and you come back with more money than you left with, that's great. But you got to go in with the expectation that if you go someplace like Vegas, that you're going to end up walking away. Unless you're like a professional poker player or something, you're going to walk away probably with less money than you started with. All right, well let's get off gambling and boxing and all that jazz, and let's get into the latest action figure news. And honestly, there has not been a ton of news. It's we're kind of in that slow period as we head into the holidays. So, but we do have a few things. So first of all, for you Mondo fans, we've got a new Spider-Man animated series symbiote Spider-Man figure that is going up for pre-order. It's going up on the 19th at 1 p.m. on the Mondo store. So we saw this on display at DesignerCon this past weekend, but now we have the official images. So again, based on the Spider-Man animated series, you get the unmasked head, you get tentacles, you get webbing effects. I forget what that glove is from. And this is a 1/6 scale figure. Is that like Shocker's glove? I don't know. Let me see what it says here. Yeah, Shocker's glove. A hand holding Shocker's glove, I should say. There's a down here. There's a piece of the symbiote. So yeah, they've been doing the X-Men animated figures, but now they're starting to do Spider-Man animated. So also, Hasbro is once again going to be offering a Captain America role play shield for their Marvel Legend line. So this newest version, for the upcoming Brave New World movie, I don't know if it really differs from previous ones that they've done, but technically, again, this is from the new upcoming movie. We just have this one image, so I don't even know what the back of the shield looks like. But again, I'm gonna say it probably looks pretty much like previous MCU shields. They've done comic book shields as well, but this is the MCU with the line in it and everything. So this new one is going up for pre-order on the 20th, so later this week. Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth. Amazon will probably have it as well. I don't know what the cost is going to be, but for you Marvel Legend fans, that will be coming also this week. I'm not sure anyone's going to be terribly excited for these, but and I talked about these on Friday's news video, but those reissues, those MCU reissue figures of Spider-Man and Captain America, they have now been officially confirmed. It's going up this Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time Again, at places like Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth. These are just reissue figures. So if you already have these, you really have no need to get these again. Captain America figure is definitely, this is the probably the best MCU Captain America that we've gotten from Hasbro. Spider-Man, I don't know. Not my favorite, but if you want that one, it's going up too. So again, 12 p.m. or 1 p.m. on the 21st. And these will also end up showing up at places like Walmart and Target as well. I think that's really what these are intended more for, to be on the shelf at Target and Walmart for younger people who are maybe just coming into the line and might want to pick up some of these older MCU figures. But again, they will be available online as well, if by some chance you still need them. And honestly, if you're going to get a Spider-Man figure, I'd go with something like this final suit version from No Way Home. Images aren't working here, but it's available on Amazon right now. So this one, it's in stock, and actually discounted it for $28.99. Original price was $35. So if you haven't gotten this one, you might head over to Amazon and pick it up. But that to me is probably, if Tom Holland Spider-Man is your thing, that's probably the better one to get, in my opinion. For you, if you're into Amazing Yamaguchi Revel Tech, we're getting a Gwenpool or Gwenum, whatever you want to call this thing, Gwen Venomized figure. Only have this preview image right now. We'll probably get more images either this week or next. Probably go up for pre-order pretty soon as well. I don't think there's a date yet. So, but again, for you Revel Tech fans from Kyoto, this new Gwen Venomized Gwen figure is going up. We talked about this last week, but Tamasi Nations showed off these images. They had an event this weekend, their Tamasi Nations 2024 event. They posted these images of the new Spider-Man Noir figure from the Across the Spiderverse movie. Comes with Spider-Ham, which again, I don't think has a lot of articulation. Also, Peter B. Parker in the robe with May Parker. We saw that one at New York Comic Con. But this, our first kind of in-hand look at this Spider-Man Noir figure with the soft goods jacket. Pretty nice detailing there, I would say. So still no word yet on exactly when this is going to go up for pre-order, but likely will soon. The Peter B. Parker one is already available for pre-order. I think that's really it on the Marvel. Oh, speaking of discounts, this every time I turn around, this Odin figure seems to be going on discount lower and lower. So the lowest I saw it was on Amazon the other day. Let me see if it's still there for that price. Well, it's down to $49.99 now. So, well, I guess actually it's gone up because the other day it was $37.49 on Amazon. So it's gone back up a little bit. Original price was $60, but Entertainment Earth has had this figure on sale as well. I think it's cheaper right now on Entertainment Earth. Like I said, the other day it was down to $37.49. That's the lowest I'd seen it. So I feel like as we get closer and closer to the holidays, this will be one that you see go on discount. There was some other stuff that was fairly low price. The Marvel Legends Avalanche figure on Amazon. Looks like maybe it's sold out. And you can still get it for pretty cheap. These are from secondary sellers, but it's going for looks like lowest now is $11.49. But again, the other day it was actually marked down to $7.44. So as we get closer and closer to Black Friday, you're going to see more and more deals. I'm sure probably not as much as in recent years, but definitely should see some deals. 3-0's got a gold Iron Man. I don't know why I always do these gold figures, but Midas, as they call it. So that has not gone up for pre-order at places like Big Bad Toy Store. or Entertainment Earth, but I think probably will. Let's see, what else do we got to talk about? Not much really on the Star Wars front. We did get more looks at again at that Tomasi Nations event of their Obi-Wan Kenobi from Revenge of the Sith. This, we'd seen the preview image. I talked about that on Friday. So some additional looks at that with the soft goods robe. Also a look at their Yoda figure that was on display as well. I mentioned this on Friday, I think, but if you still need this 2-pack, this Black Series 2-pack with Yoda and the Clone Commander Gree figure, this is a Shop Disney. It was on Hasbro Pulse previously, but it will be going up on Shop Disney's webs. Actually, this went up yesterday, I guess. Actually, probably it was already available. So never mind on that. You can go to Shop Disney and see if it's probably still available, but I'm not sure. Let's see. If you're into Cyberpunk from Jada Toys, I talked about this on Friday, but these figures are now available for pre-order. I can't see this being a hugely successful line for Jada. These are 6-inch. I mean, they don't look bad, but I have not really I've never heard anything good about the video game. Seems like the video game was kind of a bomb. So this is Cyberpunk Edge Runner, so David and Lucy. But again, you can go over and get them now at 40. David is $44.99. Lucy is only $29.99. And again, those are from Jada Toys. So those should go, if you want to max them up with your Street Fighter, Jada Toy Street Fighter, those probably will go up pretty good together. NECA has Scott Ian from Anthrax cloth figure on the Scott Ian store. I don't know where they get some of these websites from, but $125 for that. If you're a big Scott Ian fan, you might want to check this one out. So many companies do these musician figures, so I got to imagine that there's a demand for them somewhere. I've never had any interest in figures based on musicians, but that's just me. This Casey Jones and bike has gone in and out on Walmart, $60. Does not look like it's available for normal delivery, but you can check and see if it's at your local store. But that has been going in and out of stock here over the last week or so. So I just keep checking Walmart if you want that one. That's from NECA. Going back to Mondo, so In Pursuit Toys provided these images. You can check them out on Instagram. But this is a pretty cool accessory for their upcoming 1/6 scale Batman Animated Series Clayface figure. So, it looks like he's being swallowed. Batman is being swallowed up by Clayface. It is just a piece that attaches onto his chest. But I think that's a pretty cool accessory. Thinking outside the box on that one. You get multiple heads and hands and stuff with it, of course. But I really liked that idea that they came up with, the Batman face coming out of his chest. All the various head sculpts. So again, that's coming from Mondo. If you're into Batman the Animated Series. We keep getting these leaked prototypes from overseas, the Weebio auction site. So this our first look at Blowtorch. Again, no head. Footloose was last week with no head. But again, these are like slipping out of the factory. That's where these come from. So they're incomplete. They're not finalized. the final version. That's why you got the B4 written on the chest there. So, but our first kind of in hand look at Blowtorch, the body at least. No accessories on this one. At least with Blowtorch, we got to look at the accessories too. Or not Blowtorch, but Footloose. I forgot to talk about these on Friday. These went up for pre-order Friday afternoon. So these are from Mezco Toys. But if you're into Batman animated series, these are 5-point articulated figures, 3.25 inch tall, minimal articulation. But these are throwbacks to like the original Kenner line. So the figures are sold as a set, and then you can also get the Bat Cycle with Batman. But you've got the skydive Batman with the working parachute, the bright orange colors. You've got Mr. Freeze, minimal articulation, but you get extra arms and stuff. So you can have straight arms or curved arms, no elbow joints, but you do get the multiple arms, multiple faces. So that's kind of cool. Harley Quinn. This is basically the second wave along with the Bat Cycle. So wave 2 and the Bat Cycle went up again last on Friday, I believe. The Bat Cycle is $29.99. The set of figures is $79.99. You can get them at Big Bad Toy Store or Entertainment Earth. Let's see what else we got. Anything else terribly interesting? I think that's probably about it. Like I say, it's been fairly slow as we go into the holidays. So, not tons. See, gambling is still a hot topic there. Rashid says, I have enough MCU Spider Man figures, so he's not interested. Kobo Cop. Everybody's Walmart is going to look exactly like that for the next. Dang, the last shield went to clearance. Yeah, I mean, I understand they've got the movie coming out, so I can understand putting it back on the market, but to coincide with the movie, but I don't see that being a terribly hot seller because most collectors, I think, by now are already going to have their Captain America shield if that's something that interests them. Felix says, I'm not sure what maybe the Revel Tech Venom. I didn't want Odin, but if it goes lower, I might get. I I, I feel like Odin is definitely going to go lower. I don't know how low. Like speaking of betting, if we want to take a betting pool, I could see Logan or Odin. I'm going to give a window and say before Christmas, somebody will end up having Odin for somewhere between 30 and 35. 30 is I don't see it going lower than 30. Um, but I could see it going down to 37. Like I said, the other day it was 37.49 on Amazon. I could see it going, somewhere between 35 and $30 between now and Christmas. Author Chen says it's based on the anime, but the video game has since gotten pretty good. They fixed the bugs and the DLC. I've never watched the anime either. Of course, I've never played the video game. Um, but I remember when the video game came out, a lot of places started doing figures for Cyberpunk, and then it seemed like the game, everybody panned the game, and then it kind of fell away. But so I don't know. But Thank you, Arthur, for clarifying that the Jada toy figures are based really more on the anime, which I guess is why you don't have any Keanu Reeves figures, right? Because he was in the video game, if I remember correctly. Virtual Dave says it's based on the TV show. Thank you to Virtual. She said, apparently after all the patches, the game is decent. Haven't seen the show yet, though. Is the show? I want to say the show's on Netflix, right? I would buy musicians if they were 6 inch. Yeah, I guess the neck. Well, they vary. I mean, like McFarlane does Music Maniacs, which are 6 inch, but those don't really have articulation. But and then Super Seven does a lot of musician stuff, but either they do reaction stuff, or a few they do for Ultimates, which again are 7 inch, and then NECA, most of their stuff is 7 inch as well. So yeah, I guess the only 6 inch musician figures would be McFarlane's Music Maniac figures, which again don't have a ton of articulation. It's actually an alien. Jeremy, hey, did I miss anything important? Just no, Jeremy, not really. We've just been kind of rambling over the latest news, but not a ton. And we talked a little bit about the Tyson Jake Paul fight earlier, which then got us into gambling and then the stock market. So today is really not a major news day. We're just kind of shooting the shit here. Alice Cooper 6 inch. I'm still thinking about that one. Yeah, from McFarlane. And I do want to say, like, the Music Maniac seem to have a little more articulation than the Movie Maniac figures that they do. So for a live stream, you have a lot of commercials. That would be YouTube. If well, are you talking about here on YouTube? Because I don't have much control over that. I do allow YouTube to run commercials, but I don't. It's supposed to be balanced, but I don't know what to tell you. FYI for everybody, the classified Retro Cobra Commander is in stock at Walmart. So if you still need classified Retro Cobra, oh, Cobra, sorry, Cobra Trooper, not Cobra Commander. I don't know. Is the Cobra Trooper been hard to get? I haven't paid that close attention. I got one off. I think I got it from Big Bad Toy Store, but 777 says YouTube Red Premium is the answer for no ads. Of course, you have to pay. You just pay directly to YouTube instead of having to watch the ads. But I hear you guys on the ads. I don't like ads either. In fact, I found myself, when you like sign up for a streaming service, not necessarily YouTube, but like, if I like Peacock or something, I actually pay a little bit extra to get the ad free version because I found, and maybe it's something as I don't remember advertisements bothering me that much when I was younger, but I get really annoyed with TV commercials when I'm watching a show, especially since it's like the same commercials over and over and over. And so if there's an option, even if I'm paying a little bit extra to get rid of commercials, I will do that. But on the flip side, that's how the little bit of money I make on YouTube, that's primarily how I make it. Though I think if you sign up, I believe I'm supposed to make a few extra bucks if you're, part of the Red service or whatever. I don't know. I don't make enough money on here to pay that close attention. But ads are horrible. It's worth $14.99 or whatever. Yeah, I mean, I like I said, I don't really blame you, especially. And I got to be honest, I have no idea how many ads YouTube's running on here. like I say, I selected the balance, which assume I thought meant doesn't flood you with, but I have like I don't really have much control over that. I guess there's a way where you can select. I think there is a way you can go and maybe select, but I like I say, I generally just let YouTube select them and I select the balanced option. But see, like I don't see like when an ad pops up, I don't see it for you, so I don't know how many of you are seeing ads or whatever. Judge Dredd says the only thing he streams is pee. I hope you don't pay for that. Well, you might pay for it, but not. In, never mind. Arthur says I've never gotten hit with an ad while watching Jay's live streams, but I don't have paid live. I think it's like it's varied. So, and I think it also probably depends on how long we go, because like I feel like if like say I do an hour live stream, I would think like maybe it would inject one ad during that hour live stream, but I don't know that for sure. That's kind of always been my assumption. And I guess that's to say I don't actually watch a lot. I spend more time, generating content than watching content on YouTube. And when I do watch a video on YouTube, I can't say I've been hit with a lot of ads, but again, I don't sit around watching hours and hours of YouTube content either. So, like, usually when I watch a video, like, I'll sometimes get an ad at the beginning of the video, and usually you get like the skip option after the first few seconds. But let's see, Virtual Dave, do I think Ghostbusters Haslab will fund? I do think it will fund. I haven't checked it. Last time I checked it last week, it was over 9,000. Let's just peek in, see where we are with that. So we're almost at the 2 week mark, and we are sitting at 9,275. So it has not changed a whole lot since the last time I looked at it. That's for sure. But I don't expect it to fund until like probably the last few days. I think this will be one that'll take, pretty much all 14 days. But I do think, we've got less than 3,000 to go. I think that's definitely doable when you get that, what's normally the big boost towards the end. So I do think it will fund, but I think it will come down to pretty close to the wire. And I have to wonder, like for you Ghostbuster fans, and I'm not a huge Ghostbuster fan, but like how many Ghostbuster fans are sitting there having to choose like, are you going to get this Haslab or are you going to get like the Mondo real Ghostbuster figures? You know, I'm sure there are people out there that will get both, but I'm surprised they launched the pre-orders for those Mondo figures at the same time, pretty much as this Haslab. But so I have to wonder if that hasn't hurt both sales to a certain extent. While we're here on Haslab, don't forget for you. What are we down to for the Sentinel? I guess it's act fast, but you still have until November 26th for this one, so a little over a week. Of course, this is a made to pre-order, so there's no minimum number needed. And this one you won't get charged until October 2025. So, and I think I talked about this last week, but I actually would rather they take the money now than me having to remember to make sure that I have $175 sitting in the account come October of next year. I mean, with one item, it's not a big deal, but if you start getting a lot of items where they do that, it's going to, keeping track of all that's going to be a pain in the butt. So I almost would prefer, I like it when they take the money so I don't have to worry about, making sure the money's there a year from now. I've been running Revanced on my Android for years now with no issues or side effects at all. Seeing that's going back to the ads. Felix says, I'm definitely in on the Mondo and the Haslab. So Felix is all in on all Ghostbusters. Judge Dreds, I don't. Ghostbusters really a big fan base at all. Think I don't think Ghostbusters is a really big fan base. I, I as far as like action figures go, I would agree with you. And I mean, it depends on what your idea of big is. But like if you compare it to say Transformers or Marvel or something like that, no. Ghostbusters is almost definitely not, especially when it comes to toys, um, has nearly as big of a fan base. So yeah, it is definitely it's a small niche in a small niche hobby. Felix says, "Yeah, I don't like waiting a year for them to have to take my cash either. I don't like having to wait a year period, but I just it's like if I get the Sentinel, and I am going to get one. I haven't ordered it yet, but I will end up getting one before the cutoff date. But then I was like, and I mean, it's not that I'll have the money will be there no matter what. I just, if something got tight and and I mean, obviously, this is when you need to do your bookkeeping and make sure, you write down someplace that you've got something like this on pre order. But again, to me, it's just easier when they take the money now as opposed to waiting a year from now. Virtual Dave says the real question is who is buying the Joker 2. Oh yeah, I did want to talk. We talked about this on Friday and even on Thursday's members only live stream. But I did want to take some time to talk about this whole Joker thing with the $250 set that McFarlane threw at us last week. So I don't really know how well this is sold. I noticed Entertainment Earth sold out of this thing in like 5 minutes. But I feel like Entertainment Earth probably did not have many, like they did not secure a large number of these to begin with. I don't know what the number is, but for them to have sold out that quickly, I don't think it was a very large number. Big Bad Toy Store and Amazon both still have it in stock, which says to me this thing is not selling like hotcakes, especially since Big Bad Toy Store often sells out of the McFarlane stuff pretty quickly as well. So the fact these are still both, this is still both available on Amazon and Big Bad Toy Store. Obviously, I feel like they ordered more than Entertainment Earth did, but I feel like if this thing was really a hot seller, it would be sold out even at $250. So I don't know how well that bodes for stuff like this. One of the questions that is my mind is I wasn't a huge fan of this movie to begin with. I thought the first one was okay. I haven't even watched the second one, but the second one completely bombed. But if we ever got a Jack Nicholson Joker figure from McFarlane, I kind of feel like it would end up being something similar to this, where it's thrown in a set like this, where the price is going to be very high. And part of that is because I feel like one of the drawbacks or holdups with doing a Jack Nicholson Joker figure is the likely cost that's associated with the likeness rights for Jack Nicholson, which would make it more expensive than a normal $25 auction figure. So I feel like they would go a similar route to this. So I do wonder, Like if they did, like I feel like if this was like a Jack Nicholson Joker set, this would be selling a lot better, even at $250 than this version of the Joker. Now, that's just me. I could be wrong on that. I don't know, but I feel like if we ever ended up getting a Jack Nicholson, DC Multiverse figure, that it wouldn't just be a standalone figure. It would be in a set where the price could be higher than usual, and a lot of that cost would be probably paying for the likeness rights of Jack Nicholson Joker. I don't know if that's the case. They told us in that statement it was because of based on the explicit content of the movie, rated R movie. But I also, Robert De Niro's likeness probably wasn't too cheap either. And so I just wonder if that's all contributing to this high price. I did not. I did not get this set. This is definitely an easy pass for me. But again, I was not. I thought the first movie was decent, but I didn't think it was fantastic. I didn't think there needed to be a sequel. Um, and certainly, from everything I've heard, the sequel was terrible. So, but again, I do wonder if we ended up getting something like this, similar to price, and a set like this, like Jack Nicholson Joker at the chemical factory or something like that, with a chemical factory backdrop, and maybe with like Bob, a 2-pack with Jack Nicholson Joker and Bob, with Vacid. Um, Even if it was like $250, I feel like that would sell a lot better than like this. People would complain. Don't get me wrong. People would complain about the price, but I feel like that would be a much more hot seller if they did something like that as opposed to this. The price on this hurts my soul. And I'm like, did anybody here? Has anybody pre-ordered this set? Because again, I feel like because it has not sold out at either Big Bad Toy Store or Amazon, that it's not getting, and the fact that McFarlane felt like they had to put out that statement about the price, I feel like this was not a huge seller for them. Wish the Joaquin Phoenix Joker was sold as an individual figure. Without the Murray figure, I would be in on it. Yeah, and I've said this, I said this on Friday. I would not be shocked. I've not seen any indication of it so far, but I have not. When this actually gets released, I would not be shocked if we end up seeing some type of platinum edition single release of the Joker, probably sold exclusively at like a Walmart or Target. Um, Again, a platinum edition version. I would not be surprised if we see that, like they did with Lucius Fox, Morgan Freeman figure. Like I say, if you're thinking about getting this because you want the Joker, well, I mean, I don't think this is going to sell out, so I think you could probably wait. But at the same time, I wouldn't want you to miss out on the Joker. But again, I feel like there's at least a remotely decent chance at some point we will at least, and of course, how easy it will be to get the platinum edition version, even if they do a single release. If it's a platinum edition, how easy that will be to get, who knows? But Steve Areno says if anyone buys this for the Joker, he will buy the Robert De Niro figure from you. So if you just want the Joker and you want to get some of your money back, you might hit up Steve Areno and see what kind of deal you can work out for the Robert De Niro. Honestly, I guess that's a good question too. I mean, I assume most people that would get this set are getting it for the Joker, and I've seen a lot of people say, "I wish the Joker would be released as a single release." But I am curious, like, how many people would actually be buying this for, like, the Robert De Niro? Like, how much of a draw is the Robert De Niro figure? Because I feel like, Phoenix's likeness rights, I doubt are as expensive as De Niro's. Felix, yeah, I mean that's definitely. I could see this going on. Probably not till next year, but I could see this set going on discount at some point. Like I could see an Amazon discounting this set somewhere down the road. Like maybe this time next year, um, for next holiday season, we could see this set go on discount. McFarlane is just wild. I'm thankful every day that I'm not into DC much. I mean, McFarlane's weird, and some things like this. I mean, definitely high price, but McFarlane gives us some okay stuff too at times. So I don't like to get too down on McFarlane, but I definitely find myself. I mean, to me, the thing that annoys me the most with McFarlane stuff is just trying to track down all the Platinum Edition stuff. Like, I'm not going to go hunting around the stores for his figures. So if it's not available online, then for me, it's not really available, and I'm not going to pay secondary market prices either. So I get annoyed with the Platinum Edition stuff. But Felix says you definitely have to be choosy with the Todd Father stuff. Jokerized big single release incoming. People would be pissed if they just did a Jokerized single release. That would be kind of funny though. And I really have to wonder. Like, I know Todd really thought the second Joker movie was going to be this huge box office success. I mean, I remember him. I think it was at San Diego talking about it, and like he thought it was going to be a bigger hit than Deadpool and Wolverine. He thought box office wise it was going to draw in more the Joker 2 movie. So I really like wonder if how much that might have changed Todd's plans, if he had planned on doing more Joker stuff, thinking the movie was going to be huge, and then because it wasn't, they've had to change course or what. But I would love to be like a fly on the wall at McFarlane's headquarters when they sat down and talked about this movie and Joker, like how many different Joker figures they might do or what have you. um Joffrey says, I've been a McFarlane fan since the beginning, but I agree with this set is overpriced. Judd says, I cherry pick all. I mean, the days of being a completist for almost anything, or I feel like in this day and age, or I don't think you'll find too many. I mean, I remember like 25 years ago when I started covering this stuff, especially like with Star Wars. There were guys that they bought every single piece of Star Wars merchandise, action figure, whatever. Marvel Legends. You know, I mean, hell, I remember going back to like the Toy Biz 5-inch days, and I would buy like two figures of each Marvel figure, one to keep on the card back and one to open. And but in this day and age, it's like near impossible to be an actual completist, especially if you're going to collect more than one brand. She says bigger than Deadpool and Wolverine. I know. I mean that those were Todd's words, and that's when he was talking about the Spawn movie, because his thinking was, his Spawn movie that he's been trying to get made, because it's going to be a rated R movie. and I he said the same thing after the first Joker movie, and nothing really seemed to materialize. But he was sure that after the second Joker movie, all the studios were going to be, knocking his door down to want to make the Spawn movie because the Joker was going to be so successful, and he said it was even going to be more successful than Deadpool and Wolverine. I didn't really, think that had any chance of being the case, but I will say I was surprised that even though I wasn't as huge a fan of the first Joker movie as some people said they were, I was surprised that the second Joker movie bombed as badly as it did at the box office, because it just seemed like so many people were on board with the Joker and they love this version of the Joker and they loved the first movie and yada yada yada. So I mean, I don't agree. Think it was going to be better than Deadpool and Wolverine, because Deadpool Wolverine had Wolverine. It's not that Deadpool is a rated R movie; it's because it had Wolverine in it, and Wolverine in his comic costume and all that jazz. That's why that movie, in my opinion, was so successful. And it was a good movie too. I mean, I just watched it again on Disney Plus the other day for the third time. So it is truly a good, funny movie with a lot of good action and great character building and all that stuff. But I was not expecting Joker 2 to be an actual bomb like it ended up being. John, does it have an alternate bladdered Murray head? It does not. It has a gun. You do get a pistol, but no blood splatter, gunshot, anything like that. I think they were pushing it just to get a gun included in the set. All right. Well, we have hit the hour. So, again, didn't have a lot of news today, but we still eked out an hour. So, I will be back tomorrow with a special members only live stream. So, if you've become an action figure enthusiast channel member, we're up to 12. In fact, I meant to give a shout out to all of the new action figure enthusiast members out there. So again, we are up to 12, which is I am very happy with that number. I have created a section on the TNI forums for channel members. So if you're a channel member, you should have access to that link. But tomorrow, I'm going to do a special on Tuesday, a special live stream for channel members, and going to do to celebrate the 12 that I have right now, and you still have time between now and tomorrow if you're not an action figure enthusiast member to join. Link in the description. But we're going to do a contest giveaway tomorrow in the live stream for the channel members as a thank you to those of you who have gone that little extra mile to become an action figure enthusiast member. So it's going to be for $100 store credit. It's probably going to be a random drawing during the live stream type thing. But there's only 12 right now. Could be a little bit more. I doubt there's going to be a drastic surge, but there could be a few more by tomorrow. But right now we're at 12. So if you do the math, your odds are pretty good that one of you 12, and that's assuming all 12 join the live stream tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes. But again, what I'm pointing out here is while 12 is great, it's still a fairly small number. So, when we're doing a random drawing of those 12, assuming, all 12 showed up at the live stream, if only 5 show up, then only one, it's going to be 1 in 5. Your chances are going to be 1 in 5, basically. So that's kind of where I'm going with this. It's again my way of saying thank you to everyone who has become a channel member. Again, I will repeat, for those who are not channel members, I will definitely continue to do contests periodically here on YouTube for everybody. But this is just kind of a special thank you to as we get this kicked off, the channel member thing. As a thank you. So that's going to be tomorrow. And again, it's only 99 cents to become an action figure enthusiast channel member. Link in the video. So if you want to try and get in on that contest tomorrow, you definitely have time. But again, a big thank you to everybody who has become a channel member. And tomorrow, that's really, well, if there's any news between now and then, we'll talk about that. But I'm not expecting a ton of news between now and tomorrow. But we'll definitely, shoot the shit, have a contest giveaway. And then I'll be back on Wednesday with just a normal live stream video. On Friday, we'll have normal pre-recorded video. Now, next week, I also want to let you guys know, next week, I am going to be visiting with my dad for Thanksgiving. My dad's at that stage of life where I kind of go into this as this might be my final Thanksgiving with him. So I won't say it's possibility I won't have any videos up next week. We'll play it by ear, but definitely next week, Thanksgiving week, as far as videos go, don't expect a lot, just because, again, I'm going to be spending much of that time with my dad. So next week, definitely don't look for much. But this week, again, normal 3 videos for everybody. Special live stream tomorrow where we're going to, for the channel members, we're going to do the contest. And that's pretty much how this week is going. So thank you, everybody who tuned in today. It is always appreciated. Again, thank you to everyone who has become a channel member. I will be talking to channel members tomorrow, and then everybody again on Wednesday. Have a safe week. And until next time, guys, I will catch you later. Thanks for watching today's video. Now, if you're new to the channel, please think about hitting that subscribe button. Also hit the bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. For all the latest action figure news, be sure to head over to toynewseye.com, marvelousnews.com, jediinsider.com, and tformers.com. And remember, action figures are great,